Welcome back to Under the Surface, the show where we talk everything the Bazaar. In this episode, we take a look at the Atlas Archives video that is all about the Infernal. We also speculate about the bigger Bazaar mystery that is teased in this video. So, let's dive under the surface. Welcome back, everybody, to another lore-focused episode of Under the Surface. And today we are talking about the Infernal Atlas Archives episode that just recently released at the time of filming this. And really, this whole episode is just about the Bazaar's version of the devil, right?
Yeah.
Like, they don't say it that way because this is like a PG game, but he hides in the shadows and he just wants to cause harm to everybody. And he runs Gigamart, apparently, which is a capitalist venture. So, about the worst thing you could possibly
That
do.
tracks. And also,
Yeah.
they have shown like a goat, like this devilish goat. So yeah, that's imagery. That's the word, right? Imagery of
Yeah.
like, well, Satan and whatnot.
Yeah, and they say like we explicitly know the cultists worship him now, and I kind of lump the goat in with them. I'm curious what the goat actually is because I assume that's like early art since it's in black
Yeah.
and white. So I wonder who that's an item for or what the plan with that is.
I think that was like the early idea for the Infernal, because right now, like, you will probably put the like picture of Infernal on the screen. So like that's like somewhere between the Balrog and like this fire demon from Demon Souls, like merge of those two. But perhaps they at the very beginning like thought about making it less and more obvious at the same time.
Yeah, and well, they also mention that the Infernal is not his true form. Like he just sort of takes that form for us in the game, sort of, and for some people who see him.
Yeah, he's at
But
5% power. Like, he's not in his ultra instinct mode.
yeah, I'm curious if we'll ever get to see like a full like formed version of him, or if that's like a thing you never see and just kind of are afraid of in the
You
back
know
of your
what?
mind, you know?
Well, I think because in one of the scenes they say that like it's his representation in the mortal realm or something like that. So perhaps like he is a spirit or something like that. So well, it's sort of implied that some sort of spirit realm exists in this like universe of the Bazaar. And perhaps like spirits can manifest themselves through some means in the like real world, but they do not, take all their power with them through this conversion. That's my understanding.
Okay, well that makes a little more sense. I didn't really think about the whole spirit world aspect to it too, because they kind of mention like trying to summon him and weird stuff like that.
Yeah, so that also
So
implies him being some sort of a spirit or a demon, right? And also they say that in every city and every world he lurks in the shadows. So like he's also some sort of omniscient. Omniscient means that you know everything, right? So ever present being perhaps is the better word.
yeah, well we also know he has an army, which I guess I didn't put one and one together and realize the Infernal frigate is like part of his thing. Like I didn't think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, that's true. But see, it's also, well, he has an army, right? So it says that he has powers over life. So, like this Sith legend that he was so powerful that he could create life, so well, and it's not a legend that a Jedi would tell you. Like please put the meme on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. But the main part is he created the race of envoys. So yeah, Infernal envoy, right? So those sort of lesser demons of fire, right? So that makes sense, and it would sort of imply that. Oh, well, I think we should start at the start. It is heavily implied that Infernal is the master, right? So that would be the follow-up to the previous episode on Ark and Law. So then they sort of teased a master. We didn't know who that is. Right now, it looks like it might be Infernal, though perhaps there's someone above him. So yeah, he created this race of envoys, so like demons. And so I would assume they are like higher ups in this hierarchy. This seems like redundant, but okay. And then we have those cultists, right? So if you look closely at the Infernal frigate picture, you can see people in hoods, like those robes and all that, working on the deck, right? So it seems like the cultists are those lower level henchmen that take care of like mundane stuff.
Yeah, they're the ones running the ship. I just find it weird that he has a whole army like that because I don't know. They say his goal is to like basically just destroy stuff, right? But also he owns Gigamart. Like I don't. What is his army doing? Just going city to city destroying stuff, and that's just it.
I mean, who knows? Perhaps because they imply that there's some bigger mystery waiting for us, right?
Yeah.
And so we have a couple of puzzle pieces right now, and we can put them together to, imagine the bigger picture, but there are still parts missing. So yeah, we know that for centuries he built this army of envoys and cultists, and they can travel on those ships like Infernal frigate, through the universe to, I guess, convert more worlds to Infernal's cause, something like that. So that would be probably like an opposition to Arken's army, I guess, because they also are like spacefaring.
Yeah, I was really curious while watching this archives video if like how strong are the two armies in comparison? Like could Arkan just wipe the infernal army to the ground in like 2 seconds or
Yeah.
I don't know.
I immediately imagine like EVE Online star battles,
God.
Yeah, and millions of dollars are being blown up. Everything's online. Right, so we know that part of Infernal's, idea part of his plan is to probably convert people because they say that he feeds their darkest thoughts, something like that, So yeah, cult is growing, new envoys are spawned, army is getting bigger, perhaps some sort of Ragnarok event is looming on the horizon. But there's this other part where he like partakes in capitalism, which, to be fair, like we can establish that is peak Satan like mood,
There's a real like social commentary on capitalism with this whole thing because the character I forget his name, but the character that works for Gigamart he like idolizes his boss, who we now know is like the Infernal or some version of him. And it's like, is he really any different from the cultists? Is he really?
To be fair, it was obvious from the start and we all missed it. He has a pin with Infernal. Didn't you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed in the video after they said it.
Yeah. It was hiding in plain sight. So, and now there's a question. Is Valpak an envoy, but like less evil envoy? Or perhaps there are like various types of envoys. Like there are those demonic flame spewing demons, and also like four-handed red people that propagate consumerism. Because he's like embodiment of consumerism. Like 3 of his hands are holding food, of 2 of them. Like he has a hot dog and pizza. He hands you like a receipt, and something else is happening as well. So like, what the hell?
All his voice lines too are like, like I think if you don't buy anything there, he says something like, "You're supposed to buy stuff. Isn't that the whole point?" Or he says something like that.
Yeah.
So a little on the nose, but I think in a good way. I think we probably should talk about the last thing here because it's going to be this is going to be a dated video because we're going to know after this, but there's a whole piece of lore we're missing that is like essential to the whole world building that has kind of been teased.
What
And
do you mean?
it's something called the Foundation. We know that they say the scorched wastelands are at the edge of the Foundation. They say that directly. We don't know what the Foundation is. That means nothing to us right now. But I know Isaac Marion has mentioned, who's like over all the lore, mentioned in the Discord, like pay attention to that. Like that's the whole thing basically. But we don't know what that means. So
Right. And the background, while they are talking about the Foundation, is the art for crit enchantment, right? And I'm not sure if that's still the case, but like I have some like older screenshot of this enchantment, and it says it's called Bladeborn Badlands. So like we have at least 4 different names sort of connected to this picture, and right now I'm totally confused on what is what,
Yeah. What do you think the Foundation means? Do you have any like idea? Does anything come jump to you about what that concept is and how can something be at the edge of it?
I mean, to be fair, like let's analyze what the word foundation means, and that is referring to some sort of base. You can build upon a foundation. So it would sort of imply that foundation is some sort of like a central point to perhaps the cult, or maybe it's some sort of, I don't know, like some sort of the beginning in whatever meaning of the word, because if we look closely at the picture of this crit enchantment, the obelisk is rather obvious, but also at the foot of the obelisk there's some sort of basin with a flame. So, perhaps it's some sort of, first flame in which the Infernal was spawned or something, that type of stuff.
Yeah, you just kind of gave me the idea too. It is a wasteland, maybe some sort of like event kicked all this off that we're going to get lore on, that kicked off all the lore after. Like this is sort of the origin for the world or universe or something. Don't know.
Oh, so you want to imply that this might be the cause of the Bazaar being this crossroads of the universe, right?
Yeah, possibly. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
That could be cool. Yeah,
I mean,
go
I
ahead.
assume it's significant that it's a wasteland, but I know sometimes things are just desert. But I mean, the fact that you get like the crit enchants there, it feels, and the way they're portraying this video feels relevant. So yeah.
Also, like, since we're talking about the pictures, I saw this Infernal Greatsword during the video, and I was so sort of taken aback by the fact that it's giant. And I mean, yeah, Infernal probably is supposed to be big, but like when it's like item in the game, you just, oh yeah, that's a sword, like there are a lot of items that are large and are some sort of weapon, like there's like flamberge, right? And yeah, that's a big sword, all right, but like Infernal Greatsword is like tenths of meters high. Like people are tiny compared to that.
Yeah, I didn't even really notice that until just now. And it's like this is like an actual skyscraper or something. I didn't think of how are the characters using this?
Exactly.
That makes no sense. Unplayable.
Continuing the idea of with the foundation, just a scene after that, there is a sentence about the pilgrimage to the land called the Ash. And that's the like paired with that is an image of this scepter. I don't remember what it's called.
Sunlight spear.
Yeah, exactly that. And you can see in the background some, there's a sea, and then like there's like this great, well, not really grayed out, but like in the distance you can see the bazaar, right? Like the skyscrapers of the bazaar. So we have some sort of, first of all, I'm not really sure if the spear is, located in this the Ash location, but if it is, we already have some sort of relation in terms of distance between those two places.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if this was actually, because I know sometimes they just throw up whatever art they have available to use. So, but I don't know. We know so little about what the land you call the Ash is. So,
and another part is the Ash like an alternative name for the foundation? Because that's also probable.
And who's being spoken to here? That's the other question.
Yes, someone attempting to become a cultist, perhaps, or like maybe if you are an initiate, is that a word?
Yeah, I think so. It is now.
Great. But you know what I'm referring to, right? So if you're like a low-level cultist, maybe you have to take this pilgrimage to, ascend higher.
Yeah, so a lot of questions, not a lot of answers.
A lot of questions. And there are even more questions that we could ask ourselves, but they are sort of like there in the video, and perhaps not many people just took any, notice of the things that they put out. And let me tell you what I have in mind right now. So at the very end of the video, we have albums, showcased as always. And the last one is the Jungle album. And the name of the track is Comets Arises, something like that, or Awakens. I don't remember, but you can put that on the screen. But the main part I'm interested in right now is this Comets name. So that's, well, probably a place or a person, creature, something like that. And based on the spelling, it is probably related to all that Aztec stuff from the previous law episode. And on top of that, during the video, we can see a couple of like Aztec inspired items, like this upward facing head of a dragon with this ruby shaped like fire, and there's this like Aztec dog sort of, and a couple of seconds later there's this like staff sort of that has like two dragon heads spewing fire. So I think we are about to get some Aztec type expansions in very near future. Perhaps an event to pair that with those items. Who knows?
Oh yeah, that's interesting because the first two items don't look like the weird dog statue and the ruby thing don't look particularly like assigned to a hero, but the third thing, the weird fire staff thing, looks like a Mac item, I would assume, since it's green.
Could be,
But,
yeah.
who knows? But
I mean, do you think there are chances that those items, like from this video and from the previous video, could, tease a new hero? Also, let me check that, because Ayla, or her outfit sort of also is like tribalistic in a sense, and she has like this necklace that could also be connected to this Aztec vibe, and her headpiece is some sort of like Indian war chief type stuff.
yeah, that would actually, she probably is from this area. I mean, with the context, maybe not. Like there is a lot of overlapping themes and stuff throughout the game, so maybe it just happens to be the case. But it would be some good world building.
Yeah, like this
Is her home?
Yeah, there are like hints of things, and we still don't know what's the like underlying idea is, right? Because we've been teased all those Aztec themes for a while now, and it sort of keeps coming together, but we still don't have this missing link, to connect everything together.
Yeah, and we are missing that seventh hero. We don't have a clue really what they are besides potentially an old screenshot from like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So it really could be anything at this point. I don't anticipate them teasing a new hero we haven't seen yet, but you never know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I just wanted to bring all those things up because I considered them curious,
Yeah. Well, though, I guess one more thing I'll bring up here is the Green Heart. That's a whole nother area we know next to nothing about.
Mm.
There's a whole that Komat's Awakens is, so presumably that happens in the Green Heart, assuming it's because it's the name of the track on the album. So, and we know the special mushroom, or I can't remember what that event's called, but is also in the Green Heart, right? So,
Oh yeah.
but we don't really know anything about it besides it's a jungle place. So I don't know if that's where this Aztec area is, or are these two entirely separate places?
I couldn't tell you, but I think you might be on the right track. I guess we'll have to wait and see what next lore video brings us, because you can be sure that we're going to analyze it.
Yeah, that one's gonna get like 5 episodes if it's as big a drop as we think it's gonna be. But I guess let us know in the comments what you think the foundation is and what the big secret sort of here is. I really want to know people's thoughts, and if you guess it right, you get a cookie or something. We'll shout you out.
You have to put on the screen like Dooley holding a cookie in like real human hand. It's going to be hilarious.
But yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Like, subscribe. See you on his channel on Monday.
Yep, definitely. So bye.
See ya.